With AnimeOnLocation.tv. We're here at Matsuricon 2012. I have with me Ayu Sakata. How you doing?
Very nice to meet you. I'm doing okay.
So how did you get started in the world of webcomics and comics in general?
So I did a lot of doodles as a kid. I'm sure a lot of people out there know, hey, I'm just going to draw in class instead of pay attention. And that was me. And after a while, it started turning into an actual story. And when I met Micah, yeah, he's off camera waving at me right now. We sort of found an intersection of interest and wound up working on a comic together.
It says that you're the head writer of the visual novel group, Sgt Visual. How did that group come about in that comic?
Again, it's sort of an accident like the whole webcomic thing. I wrote a lot because I enjoyed it, and I found visual novels one day when a friend walked in and was like, you gotta try this thing, and he brought me a Narkisu. And so I played it. I was like, oh, this is the most beautiful thing ever. I need to write one now. And so I did, just for fun, and it wound up being so much fun. I kept doing it.
So tell us what type of challenges the group faces when writing a project.
Well, the interesting thing about visual novels is that you have to rely on both the art and the writing pretty equally. You know, if you write a book, you know, the writing carries it. If you write a comic, the art tends to carry most of it. And so in this one, you have to find a really good balance between the writer and the artist both telling the same story.
And then what about the web series Ties That Bind?
Ties That Bind, it's a little bit difficult because since it's a webcomic, we have a schedule that we have to keep to, and the weekly schedule becomes really hard when we go to a lot of conventions like this one. We've actually got 2 in a row and then had another one 2 weeks ago, and so just coming home and not crashing and working on the page instead is a little bit rough.
And then how's it like working on it with your fellow friend there, Mr. Micah?
Oh, my fellow friend, Mr. Micah. Hi, Micah! You can actually say hi. Hi. Okay, excellent. It's a lot of fun. Micah has some really cool stuff. As the writer, I will sketch out the page and give it to him, and then he'll always give me back something that's just like way better than what I drew. And it's always nice to see what I wrote coming out looking even better than I had hoped for.
It says that you worked on the dating sim RE Plus Plus. What was it like working on that project?
Oh, that was also, I mean, everything I do is fun. The answer to everything's going to be, I had so much fun. It was fun. We had a really interesting time constraint because our first one was actually for a contest. And so we had to cram it all together into 2 months. So there was a bit of a rush on it. But everyone involved in it enjoyed it. You know, it was something that we really wanted to do, and it was something that wasn't that popular out in the English-speaking world at the time. So it felt nice to sort of be a trailblazer.
That's cool. And then you worked on another project, Jisei, and it was a murder mystery. How was that like going from romantic love and then all of a sudden death and murder and just all that fun stuff?
Not that hard, really, and that's gonna sound terrible from love is murder. But the hardest thing about all of it is, you know, learning how to write the novel to combine the artwork and the writing and things like that. And once we had things like that figured out, it was a lot easier to transition things like genre. There's a little bit of shift as the artist figured out, you know, drawing, you know, darker things instead of all the really cute images. But we managed to pull out a pretty good mystery, so.
Cool. And you know, it says you've also done some voice acting in the popular shows like Fairy Tale, voicing Lucky. How was that like?
Oh, that was super fun. Lucky is my first recurring role ever. Thank you, Tyler Walker. And she's just so much fun because she is super quirky and gets to do all sorts of weird stuff and say weird things. And I really enjoyed it, especially since the cast was so big and really cool. And first show, I sat down to watch it, and every time my character came up, yeah, that's me, okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then you also worked on Sgt Frog as Gungamo. How was it like working on that?
Gumo, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna try to come up with an answer that doesn't start with "it was fun," but it was fun. That one was actually directed by Joel, and Gumo was actually one half of a set of twins. The other twin, Mine, played by Micah Solusad, off camera. And Joel paired us together because he thought it would be really cute to have us working on the same characters. But we enjoyed it. I went in and recorded first, and then Micah came in after me, and he had to record and match me because the characters speak together. And so afterwards, he said that oftentimes he would panic because he'd hear me and he'd come in too late and have to just, yeah. Does that fit? Okay.
Okay. And then, is there any way that fans can check out? Sorry. Are there any upcoming projects that you want fans to check out that are currently in the works?
Okay, yeah. Well, one, Ties That Bind is still ongoing. You can see that at micahsolisod.com/painapple. Painapple. Don't worry about it. Finishing up another game right now, yet another murder mystery. It's the third in our series. I guess people really like the first two. Just keep an eye on Pineapple in general because we're trying to branch out and do a couple other things, but no spoilers.
And is there any other way other than the one website you mentioned? Is there any other way fans can follow, like a Tumblr, a Twitter, a Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook, facebook.com/AyuVoice, AYU Voice. My Twitter handle is Soy Milk Pudding. Don't ask. Long story. And if you want to hit me up on Tumblr, my incredibly long Tumblr URL is I apologize for this. So there you go.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming out here and talking with us at Anime on Location.tv here at Matsuricon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.